Be Wealthy and Smart, episode number 270.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about should you put your money in a particular bank that's been promoting themselves online. And you're going to learn how to evaluate whether high-interest bank account offers are worth their salt or not. But before we get started, I want to let you know about another awesome podcast called Profit Boss Radio. Profit Boss Radio is hosted by MBA and certified financial planner Hillary Hendershot, who highlights inspiring women who have created success in their financial and professional lives. Each week, you can tune in and hear how women have paved the road to sustained success with both beliefs and actions. Check it out at profitbossradio.com. Well, today is Listener Question Friday, and we have a listener question who asks, Linda, I recently saw this headline advertising a bank, and it says, this secret bank has no fees and pays up to 100 times the normal interest rate. It's an online-only bank with no fees, no minimum balance, and no minimum monthly deposit. It says it yields up to 1% interest, which is 100 times more than existing checking accounts. It goes on to say a debit card and free ATMs anywhere in the world make it more accessible than a typical savings account, and the high yield makes it far more lucrative. What do you think about that? Is it a good deal? Lindsay. Well, Lindsay, wow. They sure make it sound really enticing, don't they? And good job asking questions and wanting more information rather than just taking all of that hype at face value. Because online, we have something called clickbait, and that means that headlines like that can really make you want to click and make you want to just think something is great because they've created this headline that's really irresistible. So the headline they used was, this secret bank has no fees and pays up to 100 times the normal interest rate. Well, that sounds like it's some sort of bonanza that you're getting this secret free ride that's going to pay you oodles of money. Well, let's take a little bit of a look behind this and see what's really going on. Here's what I was able to find out about this specific bank. First of all, it's an online-only bank. So I don't know if that matters in this day and age to younger people, but to people who've been around a while like me, it still makes a difference to me to be able to go to a physical location, especially if they don't answer the phone and they don't answer their chat or they turn off their chat on their website. I still want to know where my money is so I can show up in person at the door if I want to. But, you know, again, maybe that's a generational thing, but I do consider that important to me. This bank was really upfront. They say they're a startup and they've been in business less than a year. Well, boom, red flag right there. Anyone who's been in business less than a year that wants to keep your money for you, I'm not going to trust, but that's just me. I want someone with a long track record who's been in business, who I know is going to be around, because if I'm going to send them any substantial money, they'd better be solid. Also, they mentioned that they're a registered investment advisor, not a traditional bank. That's really a securities firm, not a bank, and we'll talk more about that later. They do say that they're covered by FDIC insurance up to $250,000 per account per individual, which is standard. That's good to see that you do have FDIC insurance in case they went out of business. They also say that prospective customers cannot sign up for an account immediately. After submitting your email address, you'll be able to enroll within 7 to 14 days. And I also saw that you have to answer surveys and give more information about yourself. This to me, again, kind of a red flag. It's sounding like they really want your email address, and they want that so they can market other things to you. They're saying they're trying to be more exclusive and come across like they're invitation only. Well, that's fine, but I think at a bank, we don't really need that. For someone to say they're trying to be more exclusive by having you apply to bank there, I think that's just a bunch of BS. But next, I looked at, can you open multiple accounts? No, you cannot. You can only open one account, and there's no mobile app, although they do say that they are working on those things, but they currently didn't look like they were still available. Now, let's get into the fees. While they do not charge maintenance fees, no, they don't charge maintenance fees, which is kind of shocking. What they do charge is a pay-as-you-want, quote-unquote, fee structure, and periodically they'll ask you to make donations of up to $6 a month, but they say you can choose to pay nothing. Okay, if that's your business model, I would run from any business, particularly a financial business, that doesn't have any financial revenue it can count on. Why would anyone choose to pay anything if they didn't have to? So to say that there's no real fee structure and they want your money, yikes, that is a big red flag to me. They also charge $25 to $33 per overdraft, and there's no limit to the number of these fees you can incur in one day. If your account is in the red for 5 consecutive days, you'll also be charged a daily $5 extended overdraft fee. Now, I don't think you're going to overdraft your account. I think the reason that you have the account in the first place is for savings, and you're probably not going to be spending this money, but still, that's kind of shocking. And because they lack savings accounts, you cannot sign up for overdraft protection. So there's no overdraft protection transfer service available, which is, again, something that could cost you a lot of unintended money just if you made a silly mistake. You could pay dearly for that. And you also have to pay fees for incoming and outgoing wires. So if you're not accessing your money through the ATM and you want to wire some money somewhere, it's $40. So that can negate some of that interest in the first place. It also currently does not offer a joint checking account, a savings account, or CDs. They say that the ATM fee is free and you have unlimited worldwide reimbursements when ATM fees are reimbursed without limit. So that means if you're using someone else's system, like the STAR system, which has banks tune into it, and this is not part of the STAR system, I wouldn't imagine it is, then this alone is going to cost this particular bank a lot of money to be reimbursing these fees to ATM systems, and that can potentially kill their profitability. That makes me worry about this bank's viability in the long term and how stable they can be with no real fee structure and reimbursing real hard costs that you might be incurring by using ATMs. So this is just not looking like a good business model at all. I'm really getting worried at this point. Now, they also have a standard foreign transaction fee of 1.1%. So if you're out of the country, you're going to pay 1.1% to access your money. You also cannot make any bill payments or write checks on this account. So this would strictly be a savings account. Now, let's look at this great interest that's supposed to be 100 times more than anyone else is paying. You'll be paid 0.25%, so 1/4% on balances up to $2,499.99. In other words, anything under $2,500, you'll be paid 1/4%, and you'll be paid a whopping 1% on balances of $2,500 or above. So $2,500 at 1%, how much is that? $25. That's it. $25 for a whole year at 1% on $2,500. So while the marketing sounds great, you could easily incur a fee somewhere here or there that could negate a whole year's interest. So be careful with blog recommendations of checking accounts and credit cards. These blogs earn commissions from making these recommendations, and it's in the very small print on the website. So they try not to be biased, but they can be biased and overly promote some of these cards because they earn commissions. To me, this looks like an operation that wants to cross-sell investment accounts to you, so they're willing to sell the banking services at a loss leader in the hope of being able to market to you their other assets. A good old traditional bank or credit union will serve you much better. They have a long history of being in business. They have a fee structure that has allowed them to stay in business because you've got to make a profit and to stay in business. And traditional banks have multiple products and services, plus account controls like overdraft protection that will serve you better. Remember, at 1% interest, it's going to take you 72 years to double your money. Don't get caught up in the too good to be true offers that make you $25. Work on getting to steps 4 and 5 of the 6 steps to wealth, which are invest in a money engine and compound at a high rate. Savings accounts are not money engines. They're places to store your emergency fund or gather money before investing. Keep studying investments, as I know you are, and you'll be much better off in the long run, Lindsay. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified right away when there's a new podcast uploaded. I'd love to hear from you on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, so please rate the show and leave me a review. And if you want to get your net worth moving in the right direction, go on over to lindapjones.com and get my 11 quick financial tips to boost your wealth. These are 11 things everybody should be doing to get their net worth growing. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.